Well, I've recently become interested in these old Briggs wind-up starters here that came on like 3.5 horse push mowers from like 1961 to 70 or so. And I saw one on Taryl Fixes All YouTube channel there. And there's a guy, Garrie from H&R Pumps. And he said that he had some of them in Joliet, Illinois, so I ordered some of them from him. I wanted a broken one. I have one of these already, but it works perfectly well. Actually, I got two of them. There's two different types. But this is the type that I want. It has a pawl on it there, and this lever that engages it to start the motor. The other type has a knob, and the pin goes out into the flywheel fins. But anyway, so I got some broken ones, and I wanted to dissect one and see how big the spring was. So the way these wind-up starters work, like I said, there's two types, but this is the newer type. And you have a lever here, run, that's when the engine's running. Or if you want to wind it up to start it, you click it there, and you unfold this handle, and you proceed to wind it up. Now on the inside, so what happens there, that lever engages the pawl there, and then when you flip it the other way, it lets it unwind. So I'll try to, I'm gonna have some fun winding it up here with one hand. Anyway, we'll set the camera there, and a little bit of tension there. I don't want to wind it too much because I'm going to let it go here, with not starting a motor. So then you flip the lever, or flip the lever, and it just spins the starter there, the one-way clutch. So it's like an electric starter, but it uses a metal spring, and you just wind it up. The reason I'm interested in these is my son has a mini bike with like a 3.5 horse Briggs on it, and he wanted to make it easier for his children to start it. So we thought that maybe one of these old lads, since it will bolt right on pretty much, will be an easier way. Now we have discovered that there's a small problem in that. Of course, I haven't got a new crankshaft when I want one. The old, here we go, right here. Here's the old crankshaft that uses the one-way clutch that this needs. That slides right on there like that. Well, of course, it won't go. It's out of alignment. Washer. But anyway, that goes on there. But the new ones, the shaft is only that long, short here, so it won't contain this clutch. So we would have to put a different crankshaft in it, in the mini bike. So I mean, it's not impossible to do, but it means tearing it right apart. So I don't know if we'll do that or not. But anyway, so what I wanted to learn was what the spring was like in these things. They're fairly heavy. Like I don't know, 5-6 pounds. I don't know. They got some weight to them, anyways. But anyway, so I had another one here that I decided to dissect since the spring in it was broken. It's one that Garrie sold me. He gave me a real good deal on it since the spring was broken. So the first thing to do to tear these apart is you bend the tabs up there on the housing, and then I had to figure out what to do here. So it's just got this central bolt. That's probably, it fell right apart there. But I didn't know that at the start. You have another pawl there. That's the one that makes the click, click, click noise when you're cranking it. So originally that thing was stuck in there. And I'm like, how the heck's that come apart? But anyway, it just falls apart. And then you can see the inside there. Then it's got this wave washer there that sits in there. Don't want to lose it. And then there's the the top part of the spring housing there. See, get a little grunge on it there. And this spring is indeed broken. So it's, I don't know, 5/8 inch deep. I was going to do some kind of calculation on how long that spring is. Here's the other part of it here. So it's kind of funny how it's attached. It's attached with this. Now they say these things aren't rebuildable, and I tend to think that they're right. I mean, you'd have to, you know, get a new spring, but this little pin here is driven in, and I don't think you can get it out. I think once it goes in, it stays in, but it's got a little arm there that pivots around like that. So that's the spring that has enough power once you wind it up to start, you know, a 3.5 horse motor. So so that's the mysteries of the inside of it there. Now I was able to buy a new one of these units. The whole thing, brand new. There's a bunch of them on eBay. So you just, you know, insert that spring and drop her right in there and bend the tabs back over and put your arm back on, and it'd be ready to go again. In some senses, it'd be easier to replace that than it would be tangling with a broken cord on a normal recoil starter, which is kind of interesting, but I don't lose that wave spring there. So yeah, that's the gist of how the wind-up starter works. Like I say, this little guy here, he weighs a few pounds, but you know, it replaces an electric starter or whatever. So that's the way they come apart anyway. They say not to take this apart. I mean, once the spring's broken in it, like mine is, but you wouldn't. They say not to try to disassemble this. I don't know why you'd want to, but maybe it's got some built-in spring tension. Doesn't seem to be, but I'm not going to try to take it apart just because you know, it's brand new and new old stock, but I want it to work, so I'm going to put it in here and get one of these going. Now, one thing I did notice was that you know, on a, oh no, I guess that'd be okay. Well, you know, mine's a horizontal shaft motor, so it'd be sitting like that, and so the lever, it has to be upwards when you'd be winding it, and then down to run. Now you'd want that correct, but the person might want to put something so that this couldn't drop down while you were winding it due to gravity. When it's on a lawnmower, it doesn't matter, you know, it's horizontal, it's like it's sitting there. But anyway, just one minor little point, might have to, I don't know, hook an elastic band to it or something, but that's, like I say, at this point, it's not really looking like we're going to use one on the mini bike anyway, but you never know, you know, people change their minds, so anyway, that's the mysteries of the Briggs wind-up starter. I've heard good things about them, I've heard bad things about them, so I'm not really here to address that matter, but I got a fair herd of them now. I guess I got 4 of this type, and 2 broken and 2 that work, and as well as one of the knob types. I'm not the biggest fan of the knob type because I had a 3-horse Briggs cast iron flywheel, sandblasted it, painted it, everything. About the 3rd time I put it on a lawnmower and tried that knob type one out. About the 3rd time I tried it, the pin slipped. It came around and it cleaned all 4 aluminum teeth off. So yeah, they got some issues, but this ratchet type, I believe, is a lot better. So anyway, I'll quit rambling on here. So yeah, just playing around with the wind-up type Briggs starters there. So everybody take care and have a good one. So I ran some of the numbers on this spring to see how big it is. It's around 50 thousandths of an inch thick, so it's pretty thick. You can see 3/4 inch wide, tall, whatever you want. And then I use math to measure the spiral. It's around 10 feet long. So here it looks like it's got about 10 layers thick in there. So that's what she is. So that's a fair chunk of spring compared to a normal rope type recoil starter. This thing's like gigantic compared to the spring out of those. So anyway, just to give you some numbers on it there.